welcome to the mud shop. I thought today I'd let you join me on this rainy Wednesday afternoon and unload the kiln. This is from a Bisque fire, but a lot of pieces were underglazed, so I underglazed them and then fired them. And a few pieces, I wasn't sure if they were dry all the way, but I did a 6-hour candle or preheat on it, so I've not peaked at all. This fired, it finished yesterday morning about 5 o'clock, so it's been about 30 hours trying to cool down. It is still at 95 degrees, but it's safe to open up. It is cool in here, so I didn't want a big temperature change, but this should be fine. Okay, and I did a slight balancing act in here because I needed to get one more piece, so I stacked a couple posts and some a little bit off center and put another shelf on here and fired it, so, and it did well. It did not fall, and I'm thankful. So this one is, I made this really thin. I rolled this one out actually inside the house by hand, and it was thinner than 1/4 of an inch, and I was a little concerned about it maybe warping, but if you can see, it did well. And I was real careful with it. Here's the bottom. And this one is one that was underglazed. And I'll sit down and I'll fill in the little vines with green. And not sure what color I'm going to do over it. I might just do a clear so that all the colors will just pop. But this is the egg tray. That's the first thing out. And I'll lift up this tray. Of course, I've got my witness cone here. All right, get this tray out of the way. Oh, nice. Okay, I did a little bit of stenciling on a set of plates. This is the largest plate from it with the stenciling. I will go ahead and do this same color green around the edge and then leave it clear so that that will show. Of course, this is the large plate. This is I used a 12-inch form, so it's about 16 inches across, counting the lip. You can see it's a little, you can see the depth a little bit. And the rim did well, no warping. It's always a good day when you unload it and you have no warping. Get these posts out of the way. Another shelf out of the way. Also, had some people asking me about planters, and so I did a few little tripod planters. This one is sort of like the mug that I did, but I painted the flowers, you can see. And I did this, the flowers are in the Mako stroking coat, and then just a regular speedball underglaze for the leaves. Got my little stamp here, hole in the bottom so you can see. So this is used as a little planter. I actually did 3 of those, and each one is a little different. This one, the flowers are a little different on it. I like the yellow flower, it turned out good. I'm not really sure, I'm trying to decide what color I want the outside, but as see, it's got a little hole in it. It's got my little maker stamp on it. And this was the other one. I made tulips on it. Got a wine color and a tangelo color and this little blue, and then the green stems. And my little maker's mark, hole in the bottom, and a little bit of texture on it. And this one, I did the flower texture. So I'm working on getting a few more bowls. This one I did a little pedestal foot on it, you can see, and a little texture around the outside edge. Nice size bowl. I want to get a few more bowls and things in my shop. Also working on a chip and dip set that looks like a flower. Now this is the base, this is the chip plate. It is flat on the bottom. I did not put a foot on it. I wanted it flat. And I might do a little bit of a color that would shine through this blue, but I don't want to obstruct the blue. Possible I might just dip it in clear and be done with it. Leave it with the colors that's on it. This is Stroke and Coat in the middle, yellow, you can see. But I'll just dip the whole thing, I think, in clear, so that will show a little better. You see the depth of it. No warping. Makes a happy day. All right, Hobby Pottery site has a challenge every month, and the challenge for March was to make a goblet, and I did a pinch pot. It's where I just took a hunk of clay, I didn't roll it out, I just started pinching the center of it and forming the cup, and then pinched along, and actually took a pin and stuck through the center so the stem is hollow, and then made the little, pinched the little outside base of it, and made a pinch pot goblet. But part of the challenge was to overlay underglaze. So these are underglazes painted on here, different colors, and of course I did the little stripe on here, and I did a flower on the inside. And this is all underglazes, so now I can just dip it in a celadon color, which these colors will shine through, and the texture will shine through. I took and marked on it a little bit to make a little bit of a texture, almost looks like wood. And then I'll make sure that it's covered in either clear or a celadon color, and then it'll be refired. But that's my goblet. Also, Clayshare has a challenge every month, and I do both of them. And so April's challenge was sculpting and some kind of pouring vessel. So I made a tea pitcher, and I did stencils on it. I did a couple birds and a flower, and I added a sculpted bird. You can see it stands out from the side. I sculpted the little limb and the flowers and a little bird, and did little textures around the top, and got my maker's mark on the bottom, and a little texture there too. You see the flowers. But that's my Clayshare April challenge. Lift up this shelf. All right, get these posts out of here. I have the middle-sized plate that goes with the green stencil in the stacking set, and whatever I do to the other one, I'll do to this. If I put the green around the edges on the large one, the middle one and the small one will match, and then I'll put clear glaze over the stencil part because it's already got underglaze. I'm also working on another tier set. I have one done. That would be this one, where I have 3 plates, and the connectors form going together. Well, I'm working on another set with the blue lace, and I'll do some kind of blue around the outside edge to kind of bring it all together, and then clear over this part. Got my hole in the center, ready for the tier mechanisms. Also did another egg tray with little handles on it, and this one I did the San Bayo underglaze transfer, the red lace. You can see the indents for the eggs to go, and I wanted some little handles. This one I also made at the kitchen table. Kind of just like mash down the clay and just kind of throw it until it gets thin. This one is very thin also. And I had an angel cookie cutter in the house, and I used the bottom of the angel cookie and cut this out to make the handles. So this I will do in clear since it's already got all its colors. I did the the red speedball underglaze to match it. Move the shelves. The larger pieces take up a lot of space in the kiln, so you don't get as many pieces on each level. You can hear my rain falling outside. The post out. Alright, I have to make a correction. That was the little plate for the set. This one is the middle size plate. Okay. And here is the set all together. Small one, the medium one, and the large one. Okay. No warping again. It makes for a happy potter. Alright, and here is the other plate that goes with the tier set. You see the hole in the center. It's the smaller lip on this one, but I will do the blue on the outside rim. You can see the two. They will stack. Alright. Get some more shelves out of the way and make it to the bottom. Alright, this one I did a little bit of yellow stencil with blue on the outside edge. Thought that was kind of like a flower. Anyhow, and a little bowl. Flat on the bottom. Right, this is the flower that goes in the middle of the chip and dip set. See? So they kind of match. I wanted the yellow in the middle of this one to match the yellow in the middle of the chip plate. I did not fuse them together, nor will I. I'll keep them separate so that they can be used separately. You can actually use the big one as a cake plate or whatever, just a serving tray, and use this bowl for anything, or use it as chip and dip, or you could set it to the side this way and put your dip and chips around it. Okay, but that is that set. And here's the little one to the lace set. And here are the three together. And these will be on the tier. You'll have the middle plate and then the top plate. I'm also working on, I did a little bit of carving in this one. I don't know if you, yeah, you can see it. And got some little carving around the edges. Did the flowers. And I'll fill all these in with underglaze so it'll really stand out. Then I'll dip this into a Celadon. Not sure if I would want a blue or green or what shade, but you'll be able to see through. That would look pretty with Jess's Chun Blue on it. Let's see, I don't have anything in here Chun Blue where I'd show you. Yes, I do. This is the Chun Blue. So this is maybe the color that I put on it. That's Joseph, by the way. All right, and I have crosses I'm making. Little cross that you say a cross in your pocket. And I have like 16 of these, and they're all got a little bit of texture on them. And I'll just do them in a Celadon color, a light color, so that you can see the texture. I think I have about 20 of the little crosses. And the last thing I have in here, I want to make a large serving dish. I'm coming back. And instead of buying a whole bunch of molds, I decided to make my own. So I'll turn these over and place them like I want them, in a circle or back and forth on a rectangle. And I'll form the clay around it, sort of like I do the egg trays, only they'll be like a serving tray. You can see how deep it is. They're about 4.5 inches. And so that'll be like a serving tray, a divided serving tray. So that's what I'm working on. These will be my molds that I use. I won't finish firing these. I'll leave them in Bisque form and just reuse them over and over and over. And that's what I've got here. And that is it. Get the last post out and I'm done. I'll let the kiln rest till I get everything glazed. I will sit down tonight after church and make a glazing chart so I'll know just what I'm going to do with what pieces. Stop. I'm done. So let me show you what we've got here. Alright, let's see. I don't make you dizzy. Alright, so here's the egg tray. And the set. You can see everything better far away. Alright, and that is what came out of the kiln. Doesn't look like a lot, but they're larger pieces. And I'll let you know how they turn out when they're glazed and they're refired. All the forms that I have, my slab roller, my glazes, everything in the kiln. You can hear it raining outside. Alright, well thank you for joining me today in the mud shop. Bye.